All right, welcome. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on the mathematics of chance itself. We're going to break down one of the most fundamental ideas in statistics and see how we can actually use numbers to make sense of randomness. So let's dive right in.
So this is the big question, right? I mean, think about it. From flipping a coin to the wild swings of the stock market, our world is just full of random events. So how in the world do we get a handle on them? How can we build any kind of mathematical model for something that's, by its very definition, unpredictable? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. The very first thing we have to do is find a way to translate these random real-world happenings into a language that math can actually understand and work with. And that brings us to our first huge concept, the random variable. So what is it? Honestly, the simplest way to think about it is that a random variable is a bridge. It takes the outcome of some random event, like rolling a die or flipping a coin, and it just assigns a number to it. That's it. It's the tool that lets us go from a word like heads to a number we can use, like, say, 1. Now, this is where it gets really clear. This slide shows you just how different this is from the variables you remember from, high school algebra. A standard variable, little x, has one single fixed value. You solve for it, and you're done. But a random variable, we usually use a capital letter for it, like x. It doesn't have just one value. It represents a whole set of possible values. We just don't know which one it's going to be until the dice are actually rolled. Okay, so we've successfully turned our outcomes into numbers. Awesome. The next question that just naturally pops up is, well, how likely is each of these numbers? This is where we bring in a really powerful new tool. Before we get bogged down in the formal name, let's just use an analogy. For any random event you can think of, its probability mass function, or PMS for short, is basically its official rulebook. It tells you the exact probability for every single possible outcome. And here's the more official definition. The PMF is the function that connects each number a random variable can be with its specific exact probability. It answers the question, what's the probability that our random variable x is exactly equal to this one particular value x? And boom, this table just lays it out perfectly with our dice roll example. Our random variable x can be any whole number from 1 to 6. And the PMF, that last column, tells us that the probability for any one of those numbers is exactly 1/6. This table, right here, that is the PMF for a fair die. It's the complete rulebook all in one place. Now, any PMF that's legit has to follow two really simple but super important rules. First, a probability can't be negative, and it can't be more than 100%. Makes sense, right? And second, if you add up the probabilities of all the possible outcomes, like we see with the dice, they have to add up to exactly 1. I mean, something has to happen, so the total chance has to be 100%. So knowing the probability of one specific outcome is fantastic. But what if we want to ask bigger questions? What if we're interested in, say, a whole range of outcomes? Well, that brings us to our third and final big idea. Let's change the question up a bit. We're not asking what's the probability of rolling a 3 anymore. Now we're asking what's the probability of rolling a 3, or a 2, or a 1? To answer that kind of cumulative question, we need a different tool from our toolbox. And that brings us to the Cumulative Distribution function, or CDF. Let's just build it together step by step. The probability of rolling a 1 or less? Well, that's easy. It's just the probability of rolling a 1, which is 1/6. Now for the probability of rolling a 2 or less, we just add the probability of a 1 times the probability of a 2, and we get 2/6. See the pattern? We just keep adding up or accumulating the probabilities from our PMF all the way until we get to 6, where the total probability has to be 1. And here's what that looks like when you graph it. You see that classic staircase shape? The probability jumps up at each number, then stays flat until the next one. By the time we hit the number 6, the cumulative probability reaches 1, because, you're 100% guaranteed to roll a 6 or something less than that. So let's take a second and put this all together. We've just covered 3 pretty big ideas, and now we can see how they fit together perfectly to give us a complete toolkit for understanding these kinds of random events. The really crucial thing to get here is how these 3 ideas work together like a team. The random variable turns the real world into numbers. The PMF tells you the odds of any one specific outcome, and the CDF tells you the odds of getting an outcome up to a certain point. Together, they give us a complete system for describing and measuring uncertainty. So why does any of this matter? I mean, who cares about dice, right? Well, this toolkit isn't just for games. It is the absolute bedrock of modern statistics and data science. It doesn't matter if you're an engineer testing parts for defects, a data scientist building a model to predict customer behavior, or a financial analyst trying to figure out risk. You're using these exact same principles every single day.
So we've built this really powerful way to handle discrete events, things you can actually count. But that leaves us with one last really interesting question. What happens when the outcomes aren't just neat little whole numbers? What do we do with things that can take on any value, like temperature or time? Well, that's a whole other story for another time.